Namaste, Swagatam, Namaskaram to all viewers across the globe. Today we have a very interesting program. We're going to discuss the application filed by the Modi government to alter the 2G verdict. So we have on our show Dr. Swamy, Dr. Arvind Chaturvedi, and of course J. Gopikrishnan, the man who broke the story. So it's going to be a very interesting discussion. So to kick it off, it's going to be with Dr. Swamy. Dr. Swamy, the government had filed this application, which has summarily been rejected at the registrar level itself. What is this application all about? Why, after 12 years, what is this attempt by the government? And how, please take this forward from here, and Dr. Swamy, and give your views, your thoughts, and then probably Gopi can chime in, and we can have a discussion later.
Yes, let me give you a whole background, because there's a lot of misconceptions, which some of them are trivial misconceptions, but need to be corrected. For instance, in the while you were putting out the explanation we were doing, on the screen, you said that the Supreme Court had passed an order for the petition put by Tiwari, yes, Prashant, not Tiwari,
Prashant
Bhushan. But if you look at the Supreme Court volume
Register.
of the thing, it says Center for Public Interest Litigation. Of course, Prashant's name is there. And then with SUBRAMANIAN SWAMY and so on. And throughout the judgment, the Supreme Court had said the two petitioners. But I think there were some.
Conveniently.
Yes, some people naturally they don't want my name to come, just like Modi doesn't like my name to come anywhere. The same way this has happened, and so I think before you put this this screen out. Yeah, you have that correction. Secondly, there were two parts to that, and there's another part which dealt with whether I should prosecute Mr. Manmohan Singh or not, and there the question of sanctions and all that, and that's also a Supreme Court order which is connected with the original order, and there it is only the judge's name, G.S. Singhvi and Ganguly, and it's only Subramanian Swamy versus the Manmohan Singh. So, in fact, I was, one of the problems I have, because I'm not a lawyer, I have a bad habit of calling people like Gopikrishnan also, because they are knowledgeable. And then it all goes to the press in advance of my going to the court. And so somewhere all these lawyers, without exception, they themselves do something, but they beat me to it. They file it much faster. I, not being a lawyer, I have to sit down with my wife and people who are not easy to give me time. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that I would like to make it very clear that this whole Supreme Court cases are all with me in it, and in fact, one of the tricks which Mr. Modi's government tried to play is move a proposal. I won't call it a petition. A proposal in which they went before the Supreme Court Chief Justice on a mention. Mention means anybody can come in without having filed a petition. You just go and say that, we want this matter to be heard urgently this afternoon, that kind of thing. So they had gone and they had informed the Prashant Bhushan, seeing that the petition as well with Prashant Bhushan. So that after all, we have these concepts in in law, in any publication, that certain things have to be, facts have to be kept clear. Now, I was also therefore in the picture, but I did not go when the as Attorney General and Prashant Bhushan went and stood before the court to make a mention. The court said, no, we have no time just now. We are not going to listen to you. And then they sent it to the registrar, who of course gave a very stinging reply, which means that it had the support of the court. The court must have sanctioned that kind of a hard thing. It was very quite an insulting thing, that there is nothing in it. There's no petition. There's nothing has been properly put to us, and we don't see any merit in taking it up. So the matter is dead. So there is nothing further to discuss. Now, what was it that they wanted? They wanted to have a satellite go around, which will then spread over large number of countries, in which they brought in Tatas also. They brought in this guy who makes the car.
Elon Musk.
Yes, Elon Musk, and two or three others who are foreigners, and of course they brought in Aircell also. What is it? Aircell.
Airtel.
Airtel also into it. So they had a project to do it, and they didn't want to go through what the Supreme Court had said very clearly. And so let me read out what the Supreme Court had said, and there's no way of going beyond it, and which is what they tried to do. They tried to compromise the Supreme Court by getting some kind of an order. And I don't know whether Prashant Bhushan would have put up a fight the way I would have put up a fight. So I don't know what his inclination was. But the fact is that this is what finally was said in the 2012 judgment were reported in the official journal of the Supreme Court. And it says, the categorical ruling is in this judgment, that all natural resources / public property must be auctioned in every case. And repeatedly it is stated here.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. They came for an exception when it is there in the order. And this is superior to any ad hoc or any government stand on it. It's very clear in a number of places they say that it has to be auctioned. Any public good in any form has to be auctioned. And that is something which was part of my prayer, and that prayer was accepted. And then I would also like to say that in the matter of whether the sanctions, it says furthermore is held the mandatory compliance with directions given by the judges. They have to be adhered to without any change. So the Supreme Court had already laid down. They just can't walk in there. The government of India, it is now, after all, election time, had no business to go to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Because nothing can be done, nothing new can be initiated when the elections are on. So that itself is a violation. Second, they wanted to do something which would have benefited foreigners, because it would have given them access to a wide variety of countries in Africa, in Indonesia, and Southeast Asia. All of them, they would have had access to. We don't have that kind of machinery. we may get all India. When all India, we're already doing it. So consequently, what I would say is that this was using the stepping on the Indian shoulders and then achieving what they were otherwise able to achieve. So that is the first point I want to make. The uh, what I would also like to tell you is that the registrar's rejection is unprecedented. I have not seen any petition so far in the last 20, 30 years I've been interacting with the Supreme Court. Anywhere where if there are a lot of petitions come in and they say no, we can't accept, but nothing like this, and make a public declaration. And that means that all the judges of the Supreme Court must have jointly agreed that this was the most offensive way of trying to involve the Supreme Court in some project where there were monetary consequences and the public money would have been involved. So this is the main thing. I'm very sorry to say that our Solicitor General and Attorney General have all behaved like rubber stamps. Their job is a very important job, and the Solicitor General, yes, he appears on behalf of the government, and the Attorney General, who's senior to him, appears occasionally, but they all do it only when they know that there is a law factor, is something which needs to be brought and argued before the court, but not come in as a person who has been hired by the government and so on. Here, the main thing is, if it was a purely Indian effort to use a spectrum in the wireless applications that they were going to do, then there would have been not that kind of a problem. They could have said that please put up for if there's any other persons who are willing for the competition and have a place where all this decided. But they brought in foreigners who have no record of having done anything in India. Of course, Elon Musk or whatever his name is, I think he knows about motor cars. I think
also satellites. He does, Dr. Swamy, he has a big satellite network in the US.
Yeah, it's a satellite network, but that is not the same thing as broadcasting to India and other places. It's a totally different field. Of course, satellites are used for a number of things, but broadcasting is itself a separate thing. So what I would like to say before handing over to the expert, Gopi, who 2G he's a culprit. And I don't know whether he sleeps or not, but he somehow picks all these things up. So I would like to hand to him, and I would say that the Prime Minister has compromised national interest, has bypassed everybody else. I checked with the departments. They said none of them had any clue about this. And so bypassed all, he did it on his own. And I think it's something that sometime in the future, it may lead to an impeachment of the Prime Minister himself. Over to GOPIKRISHNAN.
Dr. Swamy, before Gopi jumps in, one question to you. When the government filed the affidavit, should they have not notified you first?
No,
before
not at all. They didn't even
Isn't that itself shows that this government is afraid of you not knowing what they're trying to do?
No, they thought I would immediately object, and I will object in a very strong way. I don't know whether that has implication to what Prashant would have done, but I'm saying that I certainly would have said this is the invasion of our privacy, and furthermore, the Supreme Court has laid down it has to be by auction. You can't just come and say we want to do it. Hey, you want to do it, put out a statement saying that the government of India is inviting bids from whoever wants to do this project, and the best person will get the project. It's not that you make up everything and then come and say that we want to make an exception. They themselves say that that they don't claim that it's a part of it. They can't claim, but they don't even claim that it is just a continuation of what has been decided by the Supreme Court. They simply say that it's independent of that, and we want a special exemption from the auction thing. Whereas the Supreme Court has laid down as a part of our law now that all public good has to be distributed or handed over by auction and no other method. It's there in the Supreme Court documents. So they have the Prime Minister of India broke the Indian law, and to benefit foreigners. I think it's actually a very, very, very bad thing for a Prime Minister to do. Okay. So
Gopi, before you jump in, first question to you. I mean, you've seen this verdict from 2012, a historic verdict by the Supreme Court, very clearly laid down. And at that point in time, it was 1,76,000 crores. Now, walk us through, where are we today? What has the government gained by auctions? And I have a doubt, once you complete that, my doubt is, why would a government seek an exception saying that the government will be the sole authority? That is exactly what was happening before 2012. And total corruption was happening by Raja. Does this government want to say, that seems to be a better option to make money than make money for themselves? Why would they go down that road? So walk us through the steps, saying that the 2012 was 1,76,000 crores. Where are we today? And why does the government want to do this?
Dr. Swamy has explained it. I'll add another 2-3 points. Actually, 2012 landmark judgment by Justice Singhvi and Ganguly came, cancelling all licenses and directing that everything has to be auctioned. And that judgment contained not only spectrum, all natural resources and all public goods. So that time UPA government went with a review petition. And within 3 days, the government itself withdrawn its own review. That is in this registrar's letter. Earlier there was a review was filed and review itself was withdrawn. Then UPA government went with the presidential reference. The main question was, this spectrum judgment also says all natural resources. Government asked whether it is applicable for water, whether it is applicable for electricity, the coal is in another way, this is in that way. But this judgment is saying all natural resources, including spectrum, and it also says all public goods. So President of India sent a presidential reference. So 5-bench judge was created in 2012, continuous hearing by Chief Justice Kapadia, and they said that this judgment is totally right and there is nothing to add but we are reiterating everything, all natural resources, and it was all judged, and there is a concurrent judgment by another, at that time junior Justice Kehar, who later became CJ. He said that I am agreeing with all my brothers. I am adding that everything, including housing, everything, government land, everything. He even said that housing allowed everything. I am adding, and it has to be auctioned. It was a long argument. And then 2010 onwards, 2G scam, when it came to this thing, when Pranab Mukherjee took over, 3G auctions started. Till date, it is around 6 lakh crores.
What? Government of India. 6 lakh crores.
6 lakh crores. When you ask, I will say data number 5.9 something lakh. 6 lakh crores. Government of India got it from spectrum alone. And Government of India got huge number of lakhs of crores from coal auction also. Earlier, coal was administrative pricing allocation, giving to everybody. Then coal auction also started. Then so many auctions started. Water, electricity, everything is now on auction. And
not coal, But coal, you meant coal.
Coal, yeah.
Koila.
Koila.
Correct. Tamil Nadu, South Indian Kalkari. Koila. It was auction has happened. And now, every time Prime Minister was also rejoicing on every auction figures. Prime Minister Modi was also rejoicing auction figures. Earlier, telecom ministers were only rejoicing. Now here, Prime Minister also rejoicing. Then only telecom minister can rejoice. That was the rule nowadays. And now, what happened was 2020 onwards, there was a started. There was they said that satellite spectrum India has not. So satellite spectrum is a very good thing. Very good thing. It is a wireless spectrum. In Russia and Ukraine, war satellite spectrum only worked because wartime cables and others will everything destroy. So existing Indian operators like Airtel, Sunil Mittal, Mukesh Ambani, Birla's Vodafone, everybody is in the fray. Everybody wanted this satellite spectrum allocation. Then this Amazon came, Tata came, L&T came, this now the Twitter's Elon Musk, Starlink also came. So Starlink first said that in Indian system he can't come because he can't adjust with this auction. Airtel also said Airtel has now started with the European satellites, OneWeb. They are in the business of satellite spectrum, but things has not yet worked out. They are operating through European district. And in between, there is everywhere there is a little bit things are happening. April 10, this Elon Musk tweeted, I am going to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi soon. I'm waiting. And April 22, he was supposed to land in India. But April 20, he tweeted, due to Tesla work, he is cancelling. 2 days.
He's going to China. He's going to China.
48 hours before he withdrawn from the this thing. And that particular day, April 22, Attorney General makes a mention saying that we need a clarification. So Chandrachud straight away, then Prashant Bhushan was on spot that time in the court number 1. He said that there is nothing, that judgment explains everything. It is all explained. There is no need of clarification. It is, that's what he said. Then Chandrachud stopped everybody saying that, Mr. AG, please come through proper format. You email to us, we will see. And he must, then next day, Dr. Swamy also, I think Dr. Swamy came through newspapers. Newspapers, April 23 published. And it's not good for me to tell everything who informed Dr. Swamy and me also. In the early morning, I got a call from Dr. Swamy and this concerned person who alerted Dr. Swamy. He was always, he has not given his consent to name. He worked in telecom like anything. And some people also started, what the hell is this? Why government need asking clarification? Dr. Swamy, April 23rd morning, he landed in the court or registry, and AG promised him he will also be give the copy and others. Normally, when about a clarification or judgment, you have to go to the parties. In this case, who are the parties? Dr. Swamy is there, Dr. Swamy is there, Prashant Bhushan is there, and other parties are there. You have to give them a copy when you are talking about the judgment. That's the decency and legality also. But good that, what do you say, registry has fixed the government in a proper way. May 1, Wednesday, registry has said, and in that registry note, it says that there is the review you filed within a week, and you yourself has withdrawn the review. Then came the presidential reference. Presidential reference also ratified this judgment. So why are you going to Supreme Court? You have to go to President. You are now asking the ratification of the presidential reference. So your president has to again ask to the Supreme Court of India doubt in the presidential reference. UPS presidential reference, can BJP government ask a doubt where they have made this electoral, all the benefits and bumpers bigger than spectrum auction figures they have made there in their career. And anyway, fact of the matter is somebody wanted to give, and in this Indian telecom sector also, these players also, Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Jio and Birla controlled Vodafone said that only auction. There is no administrative pricing in this satellite spectrum. And the Indian players, Mukesh Ambani and their Birla's Vodafone says that foreign players are there. If administrative pricing is there, they can easily pad up the money by converting dollars. And we Indian players are the sufferers. Let us cut here and let us get this. But Elon Musk's theory is we need administrative venture or something. And Airtel also says, Tata also don't want auction. Only Vodafone and Mukesh Ambani's Jio said that only auction has to be done. This is the thing. And in between, in December, previous 2023, during the DIN, Parliament also passed a National Telecom Bill 2023. And there they put out a clause which allows the government to control a company or allot a spectrum on some in particular this thing. They have passed that law also. And after passing the law,
folks, we are having some issues with Gopi's connection. Dr. Swamy, before Gopi could come back on, there's one pertinent question before we jump into this. This application by the government, right?
Yes.
Is seeing an exception only for telecom. What about other natural resources? What happens to that if they entertain them?
Once you create a precedent, then you can apply for everything else. Say that this also should be exempted, that should also be exempted. You have to read the judgment of the Supreme Court in Prashant Bhushan and myself. And mine again versus Manmohan Singh, which is a separate judgment, but part of the same thing, where we have made it clear that all the direct handing over licenses in coal and so many other things, there has been nothing but corruption. And therefore, anything which is of a public good has to be auctioned. And I can tell you that all these years since 2012, we have had 2G, then 3G, then 4G, now 5G. There has been not a whisper of corruption because it was by auction. So to violate this, once you do one exception, then the more and more exceptions will come. And we don't know exactly. I was told that the amount of money that will go into this satellite-based, that will go around the Earth, that will probably cost something like 30 lakh crores, which is much more than the normal spectrum that we auction and get 6 lakh crores and 7 lakh crores. So it's a huge amount. Who's going to keep accounts of that? Where is it going to be put? Is it going to be in foreign exchange, or is it going to be these foreigners are going to convert it in the Reserve Bank of India to rupees and then give it to us? There's nothing, and they want to rush it through just on a okay from the Supreme Court. And they never thought that the Supreme Court would put the brakes. And we have to congratulate the Supreme Court that they did this and did it with such they have not been very polite. That's very, very extraordinary. They have actually that registrar's reply should be publicized everywhere, and it shows that at last people are standing up, and it's something. It's a new development.
Gopi, you're back, so you can. I think you're still frozen, Gopi. You can do one thing. Gopi, turn off your video. We don't mind being only on audio because we are having some bandwidth issues. Obviously, you are saying something the government doesn't like. See, again, we are frozen, so we're not able to receive you. You can turn off video and just join on audio. Maybe we can listen in. Yeah,
Now
I
it's
think we are not there.
fine. Now it's fine.
Now it's fine. Okay.
Okay.
No, I arranged alternate spectrum.
Alternative spectrum.
Now it's fine.
Correct. Yeah, I think it's still there is a small lag, but it's okay. Proceed. Go ahead. You continue where you're going. At least your audio is clear.
Okay. So let me. This is my spectrum. I arranged another spectrum and alternate spectrum. I do it.
Okay. Yeah. So Gopi, I still think that you should mute your video
so here
that audio is clear.
Sometimes I always see the government of India or anybody or a people in India talking about Elon Musk coming. So we have to. So anybody coming to India, no issue. Come with the government of apply with the government of India. No.
Proper channels. Come through proper channels. I agree. Yeah, we losing him, Dr. Swami.
Now it is.
Arvind ji, आप कुछ पूछना?
No, the application.
Gopi is still there. No, Arvind ji, Gopi is still there, but he's only on audio. Okay, Gopi, continue.
Gopi, continue.
How it is?
No, you
come through proper Gopi. Channels. That's the way.
Why is this? Gopi, continue.
Yes.
We're having it.
So
even if video is not there,
whoever comes to India, obey the Indian rules. Commercial venture. Yeah. See, it's a commercial venture. So these are all commercial ventures, and you have to go through auction. And national telecom bill, government is saying in the case of emergency and others, that is during the war or the military needs, there no need of auction. Why? Government of India don't. Even if the government of India rules companies, BSNL, MT, and they will wait for the final auction and they will pay the highest figure. That's the rule.
Yes.
So that's the rule. So the issue is somebody is lobbying, somebody is ignoring government of country's interest, India's interest. So might be, I may say, the Indians have this inferiority complex of seeing a Firangi issue. Hugging a Firangi might be the reason.
Okay. So अरविंद जी, आप कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं? आप सवाल पूछ लेते हैं डॉक्टर स्वामी और गोपी।
या मैं मेरा प्रश्न दोनों से है, डॉक्टर स्वामी से भी और गोपी से भी। बहुत कम समाचार पत्रों ने इस खबर को प्रकाशित
Ramesh, can you hear me?
Yes, Gopi. Here.
Yeah, now Ramesh can continue.
बहुत कम समाचार पत्रों ने इस खबर को दिया था। एक समाचार पत्र है दैनिक भास्कर। दैनिक भास्कर ने इसकी पूरी समीक्षा प्रस्तुत की थी। अभी 3 दिन पहले भी उन्होंने कहा है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रजिस्ट्रार ने सरकार की जो अर्जी थी उसको नामंजूर कर दिया, और उस नामंजूर करने के लिए उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि सरकार ने उनसे मांग की थी कि हम जो 2012 का आदेश है उसका हम पुनर्निरीक्षण चाहते हैं, उसको हम थोड़ा बदलना चाहते हैं, और सरकार कुछ लोगों को 2G स्पेक्ट्रम आवंटित करना चाहती है, इसके लिए इसकी समीक्षा की जरूरत है। और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रजिस्ट्रार ने बिना किसी हिचक के इसको पूरी तरह रिजेक्ट कर दिया। एक क्लॉज में सवाल जो पूछ रहा हूं मैं कि उस रिपोर्ट में यह भी कहा गया है कि इस प्रकार की जो अर्जी लगाई जाती है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, अगर रजिस्ट्रार उसको नामंजूर करता है तो सरकार के पास 15 दिन का समय है कि सरकार दोबारा सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास जा सकती है उसी अर्जी को लेके उसकी समीक्षा के लिए। तो अभी 2 दिन 22 अप्रैल को ये एप्लीकेशन उन्होंने दी थी, अभी भी दो दिन बाकी हैं, 7 मई तक का समय है। क्या सरकार दोबारा जाना चाहेगी या आपको लगता है सरकार इस नामंजूरी के बाद दोबारा जाएगी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में? कैसे जाएगी? हम तो एक caveat, you know what a caveat is? We'll file a caveat that we have to be heard also, because I was a party in that original case. So therefore I am entitled to be heard. And I believe that this is a corrupt arrangement, and therefore I would not like national resources to be wasted like this. Now, what about GOPIKRISHNAN? What he has to say?
Yeah.
Dr. Swamy, nobody can compete with you in legal sense. You simply said the word caveat.
Caveat, yeah.
You have sent nightmares and shivers to so many people. I know. Knowing you, you're in the early morning. You might be landing there, and I am seeing Mrs. Swamy also passing in the video back. So you people land there, petitioner and co-petitioner, which both of you are not by the
shadow
and chatting over it. It's so yeah, and it is up to the and let them come out with the bill, and others already the bill. So there is a problem is there. So I think BJP government thought that we should not spoil our name. We can make it using the Supreme Court shoulder and do the business. But Supreme Court has understood that number 2 activity, and they have the even registrar level, it is struck down. And as Arvindji said that media has not covered it properly, but English newspapers have covered it, like Express, Hindustan Times, and actually Economic Times has covered they have given the vast coverage. Indian Express also did it. Maybe Hindi newspapers might not have come through agencies and others, because telecom and other these fields are basically looked after by the English newspapers. And hopefully, I don't know whose idea is why the government of India thinking to allow satellite spectrum without auction. And all the players are huge, big players: Mukesh Ambani, Birla, Tata, Airtel. Now the foreigners like Elon Musk, Starlink, and Amazon's Kuiper, and all the companies. And it is backed by big European companies. And why the government of India is thinking of giving them administrative pricing? Dr. Swamy, it is very clear. Administrative pricing is nothing but corruption.
That's right.
The people, the man in the power, people in the power decides the price. That means either black money or party funds, and then that's unethical. This is against the 2012 judgment, and this BJP came to the power, and they were not in this scam and others. BJP was not in the picture at all. They were not in the. It was they took out the credit and victory and people's anger. They took out the people's anger against the Spectrum scam and Koila scam and CWG scam. They took out this. They were not a part in nothing. BJP's main leaders were retainer advocates of all these corporates. Yes. And in this 2G cancel license, there was a Videocon licenses, and that time Videocon owner Rajgopal Dood or some Dood was Shiva Sena MP, and that time Shiva Sena MPs also spoke against the judgment. One Shiva Sena MP, Adsul or something, he said that this landmark judgment was drafted in Prashant Bhushan's office. Audacity to say, because it was that MP don't know anything about spectrum. It was Shiv Sena's MP, that Videocon owner Dood. Now he is also collapsed under ICICI Bank scam after Jayatri gone. These people are behind this, and now they enjoyed the power. Even that time Shahid Bal was chartered accountant. Everybody has reached the cabinet, and others due to
who was Shahid Bal was the chartered accountant?
Piyush Goyal.
Oh yeah, okay.
And it is still in the BJP's website. BJP's website, where BJP's website still there is a press release on CBI questioning Piyush Goyal. Piyush Goyal says, I was a chartered accountant in their IPO. I have nothing to do with this thing. I have not encashed the last check. It is still in the BJP's website. So everybody was in the scam. That time, Arun Shourie used to say, BJP's office, these people used to say, we don't intervene. This is a Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi ka ladai hai. Sushma Swaraj used to say, isme hum, only Arun Shourie was used to speak in the parliament.
But shamelessly, this BJP government back then claimed that Chidambaram should resign because of the verdict. Now, what are these guys doing? Gopi, another attached question to both Dr. Swamy and you is this. Set aside this cancellation of licenses. What has this government done to file a case against A. Raja and the gang that looted? Why are they still silent? Because it is a related stuff, right? After the Saini's irresponsible judgment, Judge Saini's irresponsible judgment, what has this government done? And what they're doing now is obviously saying we'll go back to Raja's formula.
No. As far as Raja's case, I will tell you, Saini made a judgment, very bad, doubtful judgment in 2017 December, and CBI and ED straight away on a right time, within 90 days, they appealed to Delhi High Court, 2018 March. But the sad thing is, around 9 judges, 130 hearings, and government prosecutors were not so smart. That's the only thing I can say. Even Tushar Mehta is a special public prosecutor in this case. Recently, in April, only after 130 hearings, leave to grant appeal, which is a 1 or 2 day hearing material, is allowed at, and May 20 onwards, main case appeal has to be heard. And as per the leave to grant appeal, if you read the leave to grant appeal, it clearly says that such a scam, that Saini's judgment was so bad, everything it is says. And in spectrum and high level cases, you don't need to, judges don't need to know judgment much. They have to be honest. That's it.
Dr. Swamy, your thoughts, Dr. Swamy.
I have a question to Dr. Swamy.
Yes.
Dr. Swamy was, when we started the program, he was reading out from the Supreme Court judgment.
Yes.
And this 22nd April application by the Attorney General on the behalf of central government, they
Yes.
said that in 2012, the Supreme Court had provided some flexibility that
No.
some natural resources should not be auctioned in certain circumstances. So they wanted explanation of that.
I'll answer. This was this was after the registrar cut down this, shot down this application. A so-called government source said this. So-called government source. It must be an officer, a top officer in the telecom, and has been asked if that source has to come with the name enough. Let the DOT secretary said this, or PMO principal secretary said that, or telecom authority head, somebody said that. This is just like a source said that flexibility. एक थप्पड़ मिलने के बाद flexibility मिल गया दूसरा थप्पड़ मिलने के लिए. One cheek is got थप्पड़, so that party can give you थप्पड़ in the second cheek, and more flexibility he can give you. Hit me also. I got थप्पड़, one थप्पड़, so there is a flexibility. I will get some other थप्पड़ and in other cheek and other parts of the body also. These government sources, these are all business corporate guys wanted to say. Media may be easy problem. Take the version of the government. So some reporter might have told ask the version of the government. So they said that मेरा नाम मत quote करना ऐसा बोलने के लिए. This is the government version without saying sources. Now government officers are also saying say sources. So then they can say any nonsense. Say sources, any nonsense.
No, somebody should ask Rajiv Chandrasekhar to issue a statement, because it is his ministry.
He was MOS. He is not. He is an MOS there. He is an MOS, and main person is that Ashwini Vaishnav, telecom minister in charge of IT. So they might have said this.
So he should say that actually a MOS, and nothing, no files come to me. They all go to the PMO.
But Dr. Swamy, it's would be very great. I am so relieved to hear that you are going to file a caveat on further expeditions of this government on the spectrum matter.
No, it's even by election law, they cannot initiate anything just now, unless there is some national security danger that has appeared. Even in the name of national security, they cannot. They have to show that there is an existing danger which has to be dealt with. Otherwise, they cannot.
Dr. Swamy, they're claiming that they're going for this exception because of national security, because they want to take some spectrum for armed forces. But nothing is stopping you from going for. Why are you bringing that into a commercial venture?
That's right.
Their intention is to give away arms services spectrum away to public to the private companies too. Blatant attempt at corruption, and that too at a point in time when there is a gag order. Then the election is on. You're not supposed to take any executive decision. What more can the people infer, Dr. Swamy, other than a massive level of corruption? One. So that is one. The second one, Dr. Swamy, I really wish the Supreme Court allowed this petition so that you could have just blasted these fellows in court. That would have been a treat to watch, to hear. Even I don't think they're escaping because they're going to be stupid enough to file an affidavit again and try to see the registrar is doing beyond his authority. I really wish the day comes that this idiotic attempt by the government comes to court and they face you in the courts.
Well, certainly I'll be waiting on that. But the thing is, the issue is this, that first of all, let us see what happens in the election. It's too early, because if some of the people who would have some protection of the office due to the election results, they may lose that protection. Then the kingpins can be at that time prosecuted, and like Raja had to go through. So I think I'm watching it very closely, and the bureaucracy is also very cooperative as far as I'm concerned. They tell me what is happening. They never thought that this would backfire like this. They thought that that day the Chief Justice would immediately allow them and then issue notice, and then the whole thing, momentum would start. But they never thought first the Chief Justice would say, no, I have no time. We are involved in some five judge bench or 9 judge bench matter, and we have no time. And then the registrar issues a statement which obviously must be with the knowledge of the court, which is devastating. I called up the Attorney General and I asked him, how did you leave my name out? Because I know him from at least the last 30 years or 25 years. And I asked him, you know very well, you have been discussing with me when I was filing the case under 2G. How did you allow this? Because he's the one who's prepared it, you see. So he just laughed. And he said, but I'm correcting it now, and your name will be there. I said, don't worry about my name, because I don't think the petition is going to survive. The petition will become absolutely dead material. So this is it, you see. And I will say that many such things have happened in different circles. For instance, what's happening in Ladakh with the Chinese, you see, total betrayal of the country's interests. And I can document many, but because it happens to be my party, I'm expecting that the opposition would do something about it. The opposition is very feeble in this matter. They should have said that our matter was there, you all were active. Now we are going to take it to court. And but all of them I don't know whether they are afraid of something else coming out or what. So all I can say is that a very major shock has been given to those who thought they can do anything in this country. And after the elections, we'll be in a position to say whether we should prosecute them after getting sanction or without sanction.
The irony of it all, Dr. Swamy, Congress is slamming this government. That is the irony. It says, given the point that the Congress was behind this scam, they are saying that that this is a corrupt practice. Of course, it is, but I'm just saying that is the irony of it all. That we have come to this point that Congress is now saying Modi, this attempt is wrong. Gopi, one quick question. You don't have. You can also quote some sources and say why did they even attempt this? I mean, I'm just for the positive thing. I just don't understand why would a government at this point in time even attempt. You can speculate, say you can quote sources, quote unquote, so you can say something.
See, I'll tell you one thing. Why government went to Supreme Court? I don't. This satellite spectrum is a new thing. There are so many spectrums the government is giving free. It all depends. Army and others. There is no. It's not a commercial thing, but this is a commercial thing. And commercial also, TV channel spectrum is not auctioned. Earlier government, it's all as in the purpose of media and television and others, free media and others, government has allotting spectrum. They also need spectrum. It has not been treated as commercial. There is a fee for them. But satellite spectrum, people will laugh at them. This is such a commercial thing. It is the same telecom players, and you are coming with foreign telecom player. You cannot say it's a charity or anything. This is not for charity. Satellite spectrum, Elon Musk is not giving charity. He takes our money from us for Twitter operation also. Twitter subscription, he takes money. And that person wanted everything free from India. How can? It's not. April 10, he tweets, I am going to meet Prime Minister. In April 22, I am coming. In April 20, 48 hours, just before 48 hours, he again tweets, I am held up. So this man has no planning. He's going.
But he went to China, no, Gopi. But he went to China.
And he is going to, because he.
No, he was upset that the matter had not been formalized. In fact, these people came to the Supreme Court in order to mollify him. This Carman, whatever his name is.
Elon Musk, Dr. Swamy.
Elon Musk.
And it all backfired.
Yeah.
You see, because they thought this was an easy thing to do. Yeah.
See, actually, Elon Musk, I personally believe car project, he has no issue. He is showing car project. He wanted this satellite spectrum, his company Starlink's license in India. India already, Tata has a electric car, Mahindra started car. What my information is, Mukesh Ambani might be his Indian partner in the car project. But he is looking for India's vast satellite spectrum and the vast customers. You are going to get it. He thinks that. But India is not anybody's playground. There are a lot of players. Vodafone, British Vodafone with Birla is here. Everybody is there. Mukesh Ambani's Jio is there. Airtel still there. So, and we have a great judgment. And the president, which is ratified by a presidential reference. And actually, why government of India went to the Supreme Court? Now, above the judgment, there is a presidential reference ratifying the judgment. So why are you going for a clarification in that judgment? Now you have to go to President and Supreme Court's 5 or 9 bench has to sit for the readout on the presidential reference.
You want to get the poor lady in trouble.
No, even if it is judges has to decide, 9 judges has to decide, 9 or 7 judges has to decide.
Decide, yes. They can decide. That is better. And then it may be referred to the president for ratification. Instead of asking the president to take a stand, it's not the old presidents we used to have.
Whatever said, and this BJP government from 2014 is legally very weak government. They can't win no cases, nothing properly, and they are getting slams from the government like anything. And they are so court says only supported their genuine things on Articles 370 scrapping and others. That's it. Electoral bonds.
No,
It has
yeah.
been-
Even on Sonia Gandhi and the family, it is my national herald, and that Modi has been using as saying bail gadi, because they are on bail. You see. In fact, I wanted, will he help will Modi help me to send them to jail, because I have now a good reason to have them in not because their activities are contradictory to the bail conditions that have been put on them. You see.
Sir, in your National Herald case, Supreme
Yes.
Court has just stayed Urban Development Ministry on the Herald House eviction and the income tax of 412 crore dues from the National Herald. Just to
Yes.
put a stay, don't go for stern action till the judge. But it was a 2019 Justice Sikri
Yes.
before, and the government
Yes.
just never went to the court and said that please resign. Everywhere,
Yes.
Congress Party and Sonia Gandhi and Rahul lost the case.
Yes.
And Dr.
Yeah.
Swamy, the guy
Yes.
who's when Congress put up the nomination of Rahul Gandhi recently,
Yes. Yes.
from Rai Bareli, the guy in BJP now he's saying, I will go to court because Rahul Gandhi is not competent because he is not an Indian citizen, he's a British citizen. Even in
Yeah,
that case, this government does not help him.
Yeah, he's lying with Mr. Amit Shah. You see, it's in his own signature. He has not 1 year, but 3 years continuously. He said, I am a British citizen, because he had to file for his company. He had some backlogs or something. That company, he had to every year give the
Statement. Final tax statement, kind of.
accounts, yeah. And there he is signed, because he's the only one, and some crazy guy from America is another person whom I don't know.
Right.
Huh?
Well, some Eduardo Felido's son-in-law.
Yeah, that Falerios. So he has signed his own himself, you see, and given the address, he's the same. He's used the same name, and it is an open shut case, and he loses his citizenship. Rahul Gandhi loses his citizenship because, according to Section 5 of the Citizenship Act, you cannot have any other citizenship if you are an Indian citizen. And if you are having any other citizenship, your Indian citizenship is automatically, there's no need for nothing. It's automatically, it
Revoked and
is
cancelled,
terminated.
No, but
that
why
also.
But
You
Dr.
see?
Swamy, the height of stupidity is why would the BJP guy say that Rahul Gandhi is not, when he can go and tell Amit Shah saying that, hey, release that and make him do this. I mean,
Yeah.
it is stupid that these guys, the way they're all banking on your cases. Today, it's very clear, Dr. Swamy, they are going back to whatever you are fighting for on your own time and resources and claiming that, I mean, it's very easy for this government to claim credit for everything. But anyway, at the end of the day, and doing all of that, and why go do this venture of getting administrative? Their exception is blatant, and everybody, even a third grade student, would understand that this is nothing but corruption. You give anything to the administrative power, absolutely everybody knows it's corruption.
Right.
अरुण जी, आप कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं? नहीं तो आप समाप्त कर सकते हैं.
I want to ask both Dr. Swamy and Gopi, since the elections are on, and according to CSDS, when they conducted the public opinion poll to find out the issues in the election, one of the issues, though it was much lower, was also corruption. Of course, unemployment and price rise was at the top, but corruption was also one of the issues and much lower in the order. Now, last 50-60 years, I've been seeing the political situation, which is full of corruption everywhere in every government. I take only 3 cases. One is Bofors, second is Hawala, and third one is 2G. Now, these cases were so popular among the public. Public was so angry that they changed the government. Because of Bofors, Rajiv Gandhi lost the power, BP Singh came. Hawala also, several governments changed, And then 2G also, 10 years rule of Manmohan Singh was thrown out and Modi came. But nobody has been convicted in these three cases, which have been the most important, in my view, most important issues of corruption in India. Do you think the law moves in different direction and the public moves in different direction, and political system, whatever corruption is there, remains untouched?
Yes, Gopi, you want to say? I'll say this, that in my National Herald case, the delay is not outstanding compared to the other matters. And of course, I have been blocked in getting documents and so on by Mr. Modi's government. But I'll get them anyway. It's only a due course. And the other side has all top lawyers, and they go on some matter, and the thing gets held up. And then the judges don't take it up when they should take it up. But I think, rather than it's wrong to say that nothing has been done. Many of them have spent jail time. 106 days as Chidambaram was in jail. His son was in jail for a longer period. Yes, they were there for what they call as to be able to be investigated and so on. So they are easily available. They were put in jail, but they were informally in Tihar jail. So I mean, it's a beginning. It never happened before at this level, and I think rather than saying that nothing will happen, that will only make people more cynical. I would say that we should ask, the government of India, ask when Mr. Modi comes in for campaigning, why have they not been able to prosecute these various people in these cases?
Okay, Arvind, you can conclude. Okay, go ahead, then we conclude.
Yes.
Gopi, you want to say something?
This 2G case now, Delhi High Court is seized with the matter in that conviction appeal by the CBI and ED. And it's only the government prosecutors has to go and speed up the case.
2018, CBI appealed, and now it is 2024. 6 years have gone by.
Yep, 6 years. And even during the COVID time, ED went to the High Court and made to speed up, but there also they allowed the delay. These are all the job of the prosecutors. There are good officers working, but the prosecutors has to take a call. And Indian prosecution is always, yes, and as far as you said, Bofors, I will tell you, there were Arun Jaitley was the prosecutor in the Bofors. He used to take brag. I wrote the charge sheet. I wrote the charge sheet of Bofors, and he was the law minister. He later became the law minister. Why that case not worked? 2004 tak Vajpayee was ruling. Why that case did not happen? Arun Jaitley used to brag, I was the prosecutor, so ASG of the case, and I wrote that charge sheet. If you wrote the charge sheet, why nothing happened? And you were the law minister up to 2024. And these are questions people has to ask. Dr. Swamy is laughing. He knew a lot on that case.
Arvindji, yes, sir. Arvindji, you can conclude.
Thank you, Gopi. You are the James Bond 007 of Indian journalism. I call you ace journalist, not because of nothing, because 2G is not the only case that you have investigated or brought to the light, but there are many other cases. Credit to you. Thank you very much for participating in our program after a long time once again. Thanks, Dr. Swamy. You were prosecutor one of the person who filed the PIL along with Prashant Bhushan, even if today's media, or I call it Godi media, ignores you. That's a different thing, but everybody knows who was behind this 2G. Thank you very much for this. Sudden action by the government is questionable. 22nd April, they filed the application in the midst of the election, and they did not even clarify why they were going to the court. The application was not so clear that they wanted to have allocation done for some parties and what cases. Thank you very much for discussing this case. Thanks, Ramesh Swamy. thank the technical team led by Ashish Shetty, Gadgi Rakesh, Ishwar Iyer, Swaminathan, Tejas Navalgul, Vishal Mehta, Ajesh Nair, and Gurdas Shetty. Like this, we'll be meeting next Sunday again, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, with a new topic and Dr. Subramanian Swamy and perhaps a new guest. Till then, viewers, namaskar, Jai Hind.